Hey guys, Inferno here. Here are the 10 best weapons in SAS4, starting from worst to best. I also did not include any premium weapons, so let's get into it. Starting off with number 10, we have the Avalanche. It's a flamethrower manufactured by Malomyk that freezes enemies. It's also a faction exclusive that costs 7,500 base credits and 500 XI credits, making it a good weapon if you're on a budget, and it works best with the Assault class. The best augments for it are Deadly, Overclocked, and Adaptive, with your fourth augment slot being a choice between Capacity and Piercing. Shooting at a certain wall with this gun can also cause extreme lag to lower end devices, and it's sometimes used to lag other people's games. But realistically, this weapon isn't great, and it's mainly used to freeze enemies if you get caught in a bad position. Now for number 9, we have the GG-17. This is a faction exclusive pistol manufactured by Hicks. It costs 15,000 base credits and 1,000 Omicron credits, so this weapon is also pretty cheap for what it is. It has the same meta augments as the shock field, being Deadly, Overclocked, Adaptive, and Capacity. But if you want to use it for mobbing, just like the shock field, you can replace Adaptive for Biosynthesis, but it's definitely not as good this way, and I wouldn't suggest it unless you need the healing. And for number 8, we have the Gigavolt. It's an assault rifle produced by Critical Mass, and it shoots electric rounds that arc from one enemy to another. It's only used for mobbing because the single target damage is pretty low, so the best augments for it are Deadly, Overclocked, Skeletonized, and Biosynthesis. It's also worth mentioning that this weapon performs best while being used by the Assault class, and is generally not as good otherwise. Either way, it's certainly not the best weapon, but it can be used for mobbing. For weapon number 7, we have the Hotspot. It's a laser produced by Rancer, and it has no damage drop-off, which is pretty unique. It's strictly a bossing weapon, and does quite badly with killing crowds of zombies, so if you need a decent bossing weapon, this is definitely considerable. The best augments for it are Deadly, Overclocked, and Adaptive. Now I wouldn't suggest using any cores on the Hotspot, but if you do have a fourth augment slot, you should go for Piercing in order to deal with crowds a bit better, and zombies lingering near bosses. Now for weapon 6, we have the Shotlight Tempest. It's generally a well-rounded shotgun, but nothing about it really sticks out too much. It has a close spread of bullets and a fast rate of fire, which convinces some people to use it over the shock field. Its best augments are Deadly, Overclocked, Adaptive, and Biosynthesis. And now for number 5, we have the Jupiter. It's an electric sniper designed by Critical Mass, which has similar mechanics to the Gigavolt. But the Jupiter is better in almost every way, the most obvious ways being its Pierce and movement modifier. Your best bet for augments on this weapon are Deadly, Overclocked, Adaptive, and Biosynthesis. I will say the Jupiter is one of my favorite mobbing weapons, and is also really good to level up your sniper mastery, especially if you plan to use the Hornet eventually. The main downside of this weapon is the price of high damage ammo, so keep an eye on your money if you plan to use high damage ammo with it. For number 4, we have the Shredder. This is a disc thrower manufactured by Rancer. It excels in the C-Labs XP contract or any other small map, and can also be good for virus samples. You can also find a 10-3 red Shredder as early as level 33, making it a pretty good option as an early accessible mobbing weapon. As with a lot of weapons, this one really shines when used by Assault, due to its wider coverage while using Adrenaline. The best augments for it are Deadly, Overclocked, Skeletonized, and Biosynthesis. Now onto the top 3 weapons. First, we have the Hornet. This gun is created by Shotlight and is generally used with the Medic class in a crit build, but it can be used for any class. However, the level 5 sniper mastery is basically needed for this weapon to do any good. Playing without it is a huge disadvantage, as the super crit really carries this weapon. Super crit provides a 5% chance to deal 10 times damage, and this 10 times damage amplification is applied after all other damage calculations, meaning damage stacks up rather quickly, so I'm sure you can understand why it's so good. Now onto the augments. So you're going to want Deadly, Overclocked, Adaptive, and Pinpoint, but you should replace Adaptive with Race Modded if you need it in order to reach the max reload speed for your build. Usually this isn't an issue though, as most endgame builds have reload speed maxed through skill points and gloves. And for number 2, we have the Festungsbrecher, made by Technoboom. This is yet another faction shop exclusive, but this one's on the pricey side. It costs 40,000 base credits and 2,500 Zeta credits, but it's definitely worth it. It's an assault rifle with explosive rounds that go off every time they pierce a zombie, so it's a really good mobbing weapon. But its base damage is also really high, making it a really good boss or two. Not only this, but its high damage ammo is really cheap, and so are the augments. It also does extra damage to targets that aren't moving, making it a great all-around weapon. I'll also suggest that you trap any boss behind a car in order to utilize this non-moving target damage bonus. Now, the augments you want are deadly, overclocked, skeletonized, and adaptive. But if you're running a crit build, you can replace the skeletonized with pinpoint. And before we go on to number 1, it's worth mentioning that this weapon goes really well with the heavy class. Heavy's concussion ability increases the damage by about 90% when active, making an already great gun even better. Now, before we get to number 1, we have 3 honorable mentions, the first one being the Mustang by Shotlight. The Mustang is a good mobbing gun that you can use if you want to carry 2 bossing guns. It highly benefits from the Tier 5 pistol mastery, which gives it a 25% increase in fire rate. The Mustang is a must-have for speedruns, given the 2% movement speed bonus from the Tier 1 pistol mastery. The best augments for it are Deadly, Overclocked, Biosynthesis, and Capacity, but Capacity is only available after adding 3 base cores. For the second honorable mention, we have the Trailblazer by Smokestack. It's basically just the Gigavolt if it were a pistol, with a smaller magazine and less damage, but higher rate of fire. Just like the Gigavolt, its electrical chain arcs towards zombies close to your target and works best with Assault because of the adrenaline ability. The augments you want on it are Deadly, Overclocked, Biosynthesis, and Capacity. Now for the final honorable mention, we have the Depth Charge. It's a one-of-a-kind weapon designed by Morlock that shoots out mines which explode once a zombie or boss runs into them. It's another Faction Shop exclusive that costs 15,000 base credits and 1,000 Sigma credits. The best augments for it are Deadly, Overclocked, Enlarged, and for your 4th slot, Capacity. Now before we go on to number 1, I want to let you know that this gun is pretty niche, meaning it's not good for general usage, but you may run into a situation where it can be used. And finally, for number 1, big surprise here, we have the Shock Field by Smokestack. Its high damage along with widespread coverage makes it a great mobbing weapon and a good boss or two. A red 10-3 Shock Field can be dropped at level 49 and can easily carry you to the endgame, making it a great weapon to keep an eye out for. You can even get one as early as level 15 through the Faction War shop. The Tier 2 Shotgun Mastery also helps the Shock Field a lot, giving it 50% extra range, and the Red Shotgun Collection also provides 5 more ammo per mag, which is a big upgrade for the Shock Field, considering its small capacity. Your best bet for augments are Deadly, Overclocked, Adaptive, and Capacity, but if you want a build meant for mobbing and healing, you can also use Biosynthesis instead of Adaptive. And just a little fun fact about shotguns, the level 3 Shotgun Mastery gives a 50% chance to gib zombies, but this effect is only visual and doesn't increase damage or provide any bonuses. It just makes zombies explode sometimes to add that little bit of satisfaction when you get a kill. And that's about it for the top 10 guns in SAS4. Absolutely massive shout out to Bod, Malomyk, and the RT clan for helping me out with this video. They supplied me with a lot of gameplay footage along with most of the information. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. And with that being said, I'm out. So good luck guys. See ya.